Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm writing to Whom to Vote For from Sadhguru. Sabha election 2024, Sadhguru. So, my thoughts on this, real quick. Whatever say, hopefully I will never ever say who I vote for. Nor, hopefully, I will never ever say who you should vote for. Except for there's one condition, which I will say that who you should vote for. Um, so that one condition would be, if you don't want to vote for either of the parties, depending on how many parties you have in your elections in the United States, there's just roughly two. There's a third, I believe, maybe even a fourth party, and they're very minimal. So, in the case that you don't want to vote for the two major parties, I would tell you to vote anyone who is eligible to vote who don't want to vote and or doesn't want to vote for either one. I'd ask them to vote third party. If everyone in the United States who doesn't want to vote or doesn't like either of the candidates vote third party, that would probably push the third party enough to start getting some significance. Because all we have right now is relatively a two-party system. If your place only has a two-party system too, I think the more options, the better. So I would say if the only time I'll ever endorse voting for someone would be to vote essentially the least voted party to get that party kind of going, and to hopefully say that party say, hey, we got a lot of votes, and maybe people will start taking us seriously, and they'll start getting that extra party into the system. But anyways, I believe if you endorse someone, you're trying to make you're trying. Let's put it this way. I believe if you say I'm voting for this person, you are, even though you have a right to vote who you want and right to say what you want to say, but by making an influence, I think you're trying to turn the people that follow you into sheeps. Because it's like, oh, I vote for this person, and then the people who follow you, not all of them, of course, will like, I'll vote for that person because my favorite influencer or my favorite person voted for that person. And they're not voting because they would like the policies. They're just voting because, whoever they admire votes for a person. So, if someone's telling you to vote one party and not the other, I believe they're a-holes to a lot of degree. Because, again, they want to sway the vote in their direction. Instead of saying, and this is what I would say, if people are asking me, it's like, go and research the politics of these politicians. Find out which one aligns to your ideals, your whatever you want to happen in this country, and vote for that person. Don't vote for who I'm voting for because I'm not going to tell you. The only time I'll say third party or fourth party or fifth party, whichever party is the least. If you want to follow who I vote for, I'll say third or fourth party. That's not who I'm really voting for. It might be, but I'd say third or fourth party, whichever is the least. At least you'll get the understanding of how to vote. But yeah, any people with influential power should be influencing people to vote and to vote wisely. Do your research. Find out which politician genuinely has your interest in mind. Genuinely find out whether the bad things that are being said about either politician is true. Don't just believe in what you hear, which is going on in America. Anyways, but that's what I'd say. So you do your research, vote for who you believe it to be best to lead the country, and then vote that way. Let's go ahead and start it.
People are asking me, Sadhguru, whom should we vote for? If I express my opinions, few million people are going to vote.
What have these people done in the last 5 years? Is it good for the country?
Should we bring somebody else, and who is that somebody else?
We are going for Lok Sabha elections next year. What are your views on PM Modi and Congress President Rahul Gandhi?
See, I'm not a political person in that sense, in terms of taking sides, but what I'm constantly trying to push across is, see, people, right now it's become like this. I used to see this in United States and I used to feel, what kind of democracy is this? because people are already committed that I am Democrat, you are Republican. Doesn't matter what, I will vote only that party. This is not democracy, this is feudalistic way of living.
It's not feudalistic. That's sheep way of thinking. Feudalistic, there's no way of thinking there. I believe feudalistic, there's just monarchy and that's it. You don't have a vote. They do have votes, but they're just voting for whoever tells them to vote for. Or they're just voting their party just because that's the way they voted for however many long. You know, that's a sheep way of voting.
Whatever happens, I will only vote for my own clan. Is not democracy. Democracy means at the end of 5 years, every one of us should look at it.
Oh, it's 5 years for
What
y'all.
have these people done in the last 5 years? What they have done, is it good for the country? Is it good for the future of this nation? And we must decide individually and vote.
Yes, I'm glad Sadhguru thinks this way. There are some famous people, some celebrities who will tell you who to vote for. I think those celebrities are scummy people. They could be generally decent people, but I think in terms of how they use their influence to tell people who they should vote for is scummy. Just because you shouldn't be following, you shouldn't be getting your advice or your political advice from celebrities. They're normal human beings to some degree. They are rich and they have different priorities than yours. They want to keep all the immigrants out of their neighborhood and into yours because, you know, they don't want none of that stuff. I mean, it's just they have a different mindset than yours, so you have to think for yourself. Don't ever let anyone tell you how to think. Think for yourself. Do the research. Internet and information is so easily accessible, but same thing as fake news. So don't ever just follow one side of the equation. Make sure you look at both sides, and a lot of it too, because there's crap on both sides, and there's misinformation both sides, and eventually you'll come to about the right conclusion of what is and isn't correct when you do enough of them.
Right now, in our country also this is becoming like this, I belong to this party or this party. This means you're not interested in democracy. You can as well go back to monarchy. You belong to either this clan or that clan. No, you should not make clans out of this. This election business should not start 1 year ahead. In America, 4-year term, 2 years ahead they're raising election fundraising. What is this? There must be a law. Till 3 months before election, nobody should talk election. Because country is not being managed. Election is going on all the time. So, I think it's for each individual to assess what has been done in the last 5 years. Is it worthwhile? Should we give them another chance? Or should we bring somebody else? And who is that somebody else? Is that somebody else going to be better than this one? Is something that each individual should evaluate. Constantly people are asking me, Sadhguru, whom should we vote for? I said, I will never tell you. I will not even tell my daughter, whom should you vote for? Because the moment I give out a call and say, okay, this many million people vote for this party, I know I have destroyed democracy.
I will tell you who to vote for. Third or fourth party, whichever's least on the bottom of the hierarchy. That's if you haven't found out who you wanted to vote for. And this is just to get you out there to vote to see how it works. Because you can go out there and like, oh, I missed my opportunity to vote. I'll go a little bit earlier next time, you know.
It's important that this secret ballot means if husband and wife are sitting here, there is no need that a wife should vote for the person that the husband votes. She can vote whoever she wants. That is when there is a democracy. Now I'm going to give a call and a few million people are going to vote. No, I will never do that. So if I express my opinions, that's what will happen.
Okay. So yes, absolutely. I guess wanted to watch this because I wanted to hear what Sadhguru had to say. I think I've heard him say this before, but this is a bit of a different one. I don't think I've seen this video, if there's an extended version of it or not. But yes, if someone's telling you who to vote for, I question their motives. They're trying to, in a lot of sense, create a monarchy to some degree because They'll because obviously they want their person to vote. They have an agenda there. I believe everyone's agenda should be their own, not influence anyone else. Now, you can have an open discussion about things, but you should never say you should. You can say again whether you have influence or not. Say I'm voting for this person, and these are my reasons. That's something that you talk to an individual basis, especially when it comes up to with your friends or whatever, if they ever come up with it. But it's not something that you go out and use a public or a social media site to use your influence to sway the vote one way or another. I think that shows I don't know, like he said, corruption and the end of democracy in a lot of sense. I remember a lot of people backing up a lot of people. If you're in a political spectrum, then it's your job to obviously influence people to vote for whatever party that you're part of. So, especially if you're in the political spectrum, mind you. So if you're the nominated vice president, then yeah, your job is to get out votes. If you're working for the campaign and stuff, it is your job to get the votes. It's your job to say vote my party. But if you're just a normal everyday human being who don't have or not part of the political whatever, then you should bring up your own thoughts and your own votes. And if you're an influencer not working for like whatever party, then you should not be saying which one you're voting for. That's the whole point of a democracy, even though we're a republic. But if you're an influencer and you work for a political party, I guess technically then it's your job. But at the same time, no matter who tells you who to vote for, question them. As in, do not just say, "Oh, he said to vote for this, I guess I will." Check. No. Question. As in, why does he want me to vote for that person? Let me do my research on that person. Make sure that person has my interest in mind. Make sure that his morals or laws and ideas are similar to that which I want for the country. And then you say, I will vote for this person because I have been convinced with my own research that this person follows my ideals. Then at that point, you can't really blame that person. I did my research. I looked at the other opponent. I like this person better. He has these lists of things that I want, and I'm going to vote for them. Anyways, that's my reaction. Whom to vote for. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up the sound down below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next vid.